no longer self-centered, no longer gossiper, busybody, no longer bitter, unforgiving, unmerciful. But God changed his name to Israel. The blessing that God put upon his life was that his name was to be changed to Israel, and that he would be blessed and his descendants would be blessed. Israel is a blessing today. Still around. There's not too many things that we can point to from the beginning of ages that is still around. But yet God, in this very moment, in this defining moment, at this time where he took Jacob and he was alone and he wrestled through God, and because he was willing to wrestle and go through the struggle of those things in his life. And in this moment, God brought a blessing in his life that lasted and blessed many generations to come. What is your new name? Peter was changed from a reed to a rock. What pattern does God want to build in your life where the good works were preordained before you were even born? To walk in them. To be who you are meant to be. See, Peter thought he was a fisherman, but he's really an apostle. Yes. He is among the 12 apostles that will sit upon thrones and judge nations. I'd say that's a little different than a fisherman. Amen. God has a way of whenever we take him at his word and his promises, if we grab a hold of him and don't let go through the struggles, through the wrestling, and that we're still clinging to him through the things that we experience in our life, that then at the end of those things, we see a blessing from God where God changes us and he even changes our name because it's not fitting to call us what we used to be called. Because what we see with Jacob is that he forever lived from that time on. He was never the same. And if we're willing, there can be that same divining moment in our life, that same time in our life where we get with God and he does such a breakthrough in our life that we never walk the same. There was a man that was named Joseph. Do you remember him? He had a dream. And he seemed like a kid at the time that he had the dream. And God put a dream in his heart and a word in his heart and a promise in his heart. And he went off and told his brothers, his family. And he kind of got one of these. Yeah, right. And of all the people that you would think that he could tell his dad, and he still got one of these. Yeah, right. Now that's my version of it. The Bible doesn't say that. But a lot of times when God speaks something in our heart, others around us even in their religiousness give us the old religious lip. But Joseph had a dream. But because of those things, his brothers envied him. And it's just like the world and just like the devil. The devil likes to kill a word from God. The devil likes to kill the things that is spoken to you in your heart and to crush those things until those things are no longer there. They desired to not just throw him in a pit. If you remember at the beginning, they desired to kill him. But they threw him in a pit. And then they decided to sell him instead of kill him. And see, that was a time where Joseph was alone with God, much like Jacob. And there's times where we need to be alone with God, where we go through things in our life, and sometimes, even when we're crowded with people all around us, we feel like it's just us and God. Yes. Anybody know what I'm saying? Yes. Where you're in a crowded room, you're around other people, but it just seems like you're alone with God. And during those times, those things are done by the Lord for a purpose, so that we can truly see not just who God is, but who we are. And it's during those times, just like Jacob, we need to be able to say, I will not let go. Regardless of how we feel, regardless of what we go through, we have to have the attitude, I will not let go. I will not let go of God. Despite what was going on, Joseph didn't let go of what God spoke to his heart. Even though it was trying to be driven from him by the devil. And so, since the devil couldn't kill him, he sent Potiphar's wife along and tempted